Update: Am I the butthole for telling my sister to stop using the word family like it means something? Update from last week here. We had such a great day. Jessie and we had steaks on the grill, baked potatoes, steamed veggies, and a from scratch pumpkin cheesecake. Tuesday and Wednesday, my mom and sister were tag teaming my messenger all day and until I reached my limit and finally answered my sister. She told me when they were planning on eating and that I needed to arrive earlier. I told her point blank that I was not coming to dinner. Out of my own curiosity, I felt like something was wrong and I asked her why it was so important for me to come. They have been telling some family members that I was going to be at dinner and that everything was okay and I was part of the family again. This is important because many people from both my mom and dad's family have had nothing to do with me, but never completely approved of what my parents did to me. This was my breaking point. This put me over the edge and I told them I was not going to cover for them and that this was the end of all of it. It was their fault for creating this issue and they will need to deal with it on their own. I told her I was done and that to never contact me again. I ended the call and immediately blocked all communication. The level of anger that I have towards them is to a point I can't even describe it. But at the same time, I feel relief that they gave me a reason to terminate all communication with them. They are completely on their own. True to form. On Thanksgiving Day, C and I took showers, and put on clean pajamas and watched movies all day and then ate dinner. And then back in front of the TV. Before I end this, I want to thank all of you for your support and encouragement and kind words. Here's to a great holiday season. Web link. NTA original post: holidays are a time for your family and your husband is your family. I'm happy for you that you finally cut off the toxic drama for good. Just because you share blood doesn't mean anything. Your family are the ones who show you love and support. Happy holidays and best of luck. I'm Indigenous. The original meaning of blood is that since every living thing bleeds, we are all the same. Blood is red, and represents one of the four holy grandmothers, AITA, the grandmother of hunting and sharing equally. Green is for our holy grandmother Mater Aka, the grandmother world tree, grandmother earth. Once, the earth was covered in trees, and she lives inside every single one. We are all her children, and all is the name of the sap water inside her, that is the water inside us. We believed once, that we are walking trees, and trees were holy to us, like every living thing is holy. The real reason patriarchal cultures invented the saying blood is thicker than water was to undermine the old beliefs, in order to justify policing female sexuality and to justify cutting down large areas of forest for agricultural purposes. We are all the children of Earth, and we are all equal. Family first is just an attempt from abusive people to control us. Edit: I'm Sammy Jean, and that literally means we are the same. We've hunted reindeer south of the Ice Age glaciers ever since the land bridge out of Africa opened, and followed the ice north as agricultural settlers began burning down the forest, thus ending the Ice Age. Our last refuge of AITA is now colonized by Russia, Finland, Sweden, and Norway. Your belief is beautiful and I really connect with it. I'm from Skåne, Sweden, and the way your people have been treated and still hasn't properly been apologized to is vile. The fact that all I know about it comes from the internet, Facebook mainly, is a testimony to how it's still going on. I have learned nothing about that part of our history in school. Absolutely nothing. Not mentioned even once. The hate and discrimination still happening to you people is inexcusable. I wish I could learn more about your culture and beliefs. Thank you for caring, for sharing our values, Green Heart. We're still treated horribly. Our lands are being stolen right now. In Sweden, Sveshkog wants to deforest the land belonging to Luokta. Luckily, they received such a huge backlash that there's now increasing demand that they permanently protect all forests in Sopni/SAEGME. Follow Sofia Yanok on Insta and join the demands. Every voice counts. Take care and stay safe. I'm also a Swede, from Värmland. I don't know a lot either, but oh god, this is awful. Your beliefs sound so, I don't know how to describe it, peaceful, beautiful, and comfortable. I wish there was a lot more education about this, and that this mindset was practiced a lot more. Why is it always the purest people who get the dirtiest treatment? I will never understand this world's obsession over their own God complex. There are many Sofia Yanok, which one am I looking for? I'm just assuming you didn't get to learn about Scanian history at school either, which kind of proves its own point. Its own country, its own kings? I for sure haven't. I don't think user Sid Smile ever meant to compare the two, more like a commiseration of being at the hands of the Swedes historically, if you can put it like that. Obviously today it's redundant as a comparison. Scanians have been absorbed, although not fully accepted to be honest, by the Swedish. Reddit link. Scanians were also treated horribly by the Swedish. Before Scania was invaded by the Swedes and the Danes, it was a country, but at some point 40% of all Scanians were killed by the Swedes after Denmark gave Scania back to Sweden with the promise that Scania would keep their language and laws. The promises were broken and only the Swedish language and Swedish literature was allowed until the Swedification was completed. Today Scanian is often mentioned as the ugliest Swedish accent. Scanian here. Dude, did you really just hijack a thread about the vile treatment of the Sami to complain about the plight of Skåne 300 years ago? Because that is unacceptable. He isn't hijacking the thread, he's just pointing out other nasty things the Swedes have done to further show that they aren't the shining example of European culture people think them to be. The Americas were colonized 400 years ago, their native populations were decimated and they still face constant struggles today. Does mentioning that make the Sami's struggle any less valid? No. Just as his point about Scania doesn't make their point any less valid. You can talk about more than one thing at once. Take a chill pill. I'm not sure it's hijacking as much as providing an interesting piece of information that most people might not be aware of, just like the previous comment. 300 years ago or now, does injustice become less of a thing? I think both points are interesting and relevant. Classic gatekeeping going on here. We are discussing the Scandinavian history. Do you really think it's acceptable to hijack a thread to voice your own opinions and assumptions? I think it's unacceptable. Do you have any sources on this? And when would this have been? I'm a little confused because before the Danes invaded has got to be about like 9th century, right? Edited to add that I think I misunderstood. You're talking about the 17th century when Sweden reconquered Scania, right? There's not an abundance of sources, but they're out there. These excerpts are a good example. Recent history. The complete history of Skaneland was not taught for a long time in schools in Skaneland, especially during periods with the immediate threat of revolt. Instead, a Swedish-centric history was taught, and the Scanian history before 1658, for instance concerning the list of monarchs, was disregarded as a component of Danish history. In reaction, a movement began in the late 19th century to revive awareness of the history and culture of Skaneland. The renewed focus resulted in the publication of several books about Scanian history. 32. Klagerup riots in 1811. The last Swedish assault on the civilian population occurred as late as 15. June 1811, when Swedish military killed around 30 and wounded around 60 peasants in Klagerup. The Swedish army units also arrested 395 people, of which 2 became beheaded at Stortorget, a square, in Malmö at 4. November 1811, 37. Web link. Absolutely beautiful. And educational. I'm from Oslo, Norway, and on behalf of all of us, even the ones that disagree with me, we are sorry for how we've treated your people, your land, your culture and your beliefs. Blood is thicker than water, but water gives life. Keep educating us all, please. I crave to learn more about your culture, and I'll try my best to do my own research. That's beautiful. I love this. I know that for the pagan religion of Estonia, not so far away, we worship trees as well. I plan on learning more. I wonder how closely the religions are related. I believe that the languages are. My great-great-grandfather was Sami. It truly is a beautiful belief system. He and his family left Norway in the late 1800s to escape the discrimination and assimilated into Winnipeg. We knew nothing of this until a year ago, until we did a deep dive on our family history, and it is extremely sad we lost that belief system in order to escape discrimination. Thank you for sharing this knowledge with us. I truly appreciate it. Lol, kind of sad that a troll is the only one to reply to you. Especially considering you're the top comment. User Captain Obvious _troll here, and it does appear that there is a downvote farmer below. I would encourage everyone to downvote and move on with your day. My account is specifically dedicated to teaching people how to deal with downvote farmers and trolls. Most importantly, don't engage with them other than to downvote them. The things they like most are the angry replies, and this one seems to have gotten a lot of them. Downvote them so their comment remains hidden, but once you realize them, don't reply to them. Reddit link. Cool, just downvoted. Wow, that person has a crap ton of comments that have huge downvotes. Over 10,000 downvotes on over 20 different ignorant rants. Yeah, well, at least now I got somebody else. Friends? Friends. Holy crap, your family is riddled with buttholes. Sending my best vibes to you and C for the holidays. Your family is riddled with buttholes indeed. Some might even say that humanity as a whole is a cesspool. Darn right. Just don't forget about all the good ones. Not all humans. Not all humans. Certainly a too large percentage of humanity sucks, though I submit it's not as big as it seems, it's just that we see so much of it and relatively little of the average decent person. For sure. My comment was less referencing the state of the world and more about making a play off the username, though. I have a very conservative aunt and uncle who have a niece, on the other side of their family, who is a lesbian. Her parents basically disowned her, but my aunt and uncle still invite her to family events and they still talk to her and her partner whenever they see them, no matter how much or little other family will talk to them. Because that is valuing family over sexual orientation. If Ob's extended family had wanted to, they could have at least been in contact with him all this time. So yeah, the whole family is full of buttholes. They shat in their hat, now they have to wear it. Good for you for enjoying Thanksgiving with your real family. I hope you finally get some peace. You deserve it after their travesty. This is the first time I've ever heard the phrase they shat in their hat, now they have to wear it, and I just wanted to say how much I love it. I mean, they are buttholes, so they obviously shat in their beds as well and now have to sleep in them. But the fact that they shat in their hats is so fun to say. I suggest original post call his family the gifts with the craps. What is pumpkin cheesecake? Is it like pumpkin pie with cheesecake filling? Am Aussie, so have never heard of it, but I like how it sounds. It's cheesecake with pumpkin pie filling blended in. It's amazing. Hello Australia. Sending much love to you guys. I am slightly obsessed with koalas and was completely devastated over the fires that killed so many. My credit card company about had a heart attack over all the donations that I made. Anyway. Pumpkin cheesecake. When I get home I'll send you everything you need to know. It's really easy and almost better than sex. Almost. Hello Australia, it's really actually quite simple. This is for a single batch of filling, but I usually make a double. Also, I usually will buy pumpkins and roast them and then mix into the filling mix. These are in American measurements. You will need to do your own conversions. I use a graham cracker crust. That is usually 1.5 to 2 cups of graham crackers crushed. If you want more crust then you can adjust accordingly. 3 tablespoons sugar and 1/3 cup of butter or margarine melted. Mix those together and then spread over the pan evenly. Filling. 4 packages cream cheese softened. 1 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 4 eggs. Now is when you can add the pumpkin pie filling. 1 to 2 cans. And pumpkin pie spice, cinnamon, nutmeg to taste. I use my stand mixer for all this. It goes so much quicker and you can just throw it all in. Mix and pour over crust. Bake at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour. Top with Cool Whip. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I shall be testing that out this weekend. The petty side of me wants you to contest the will and take whatever you can, then if you don't want to keep it or use it then donate it to a charity or cause. Simply just to stick it to your family one last time, get the last laugh while watching it all explode as a form of cathartic therapy. Good on you for sticking to your guns. I don't want anything. That is the honest to God truth. I'm happy with what I have in my life as it is. I'm more proud of what I have because I did it on my own. That alone means more to me than anything in a will. Often the best possible revenge is simply living well. NTA. You owe them nothing. Also, Maybe tell your sister that the actual phrase is not blood is thicker than water, but the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, meaning the covenant between you and your husband is greater than your birth. It is the same idea as the Bible verse that states a man shall leave his parents and cleave unto his spouse. Marriage and covenants are greater than the family you were born into. I want to ask, did you tell them why you don't want to join them? Like the being kicked out at 15. I don't know if you said it since it hasn't been said in the post. I said a lot to her before I ended the call. I reminded her that I actually did nothing wrong. I also reminded her that her and our brother were at an age that they could have understood everything going on, and that when I was packing to leave that I told them what was going on and why. I told them that aside from the 5 minutes of hey and hello that they gave me at the funeral, the rest of the 7 years that I have been back in contact with them has been met with nothing but hostility and cruelness for really no reason. And I also reminded her that she had every opportunity to get in contact with me at 16 and 18. Lastly, the nail that sealed the casket was me telling her that me getting kicked out had no real direct effect on them. They got to stay home until they decided to move. They were able to go on long family vacations, and do all kinds of fun and interesting things. And then I told her that this was the end of any further communication and to not contact me again. That was when I ended the call, hurried and blocked them, and went and threw up. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.